Just as you write my number down, just as the drinks arrive, just as they play your favorite song, as your bladder disappears. No one to wind up like a spring before you had too much. Come back and focus again. The walls have been in shape. They got a Cheshire cat grin, all blurring into one. This place is on a mission. Before the night out, before the animal noises, closer get cameras. Before you come at between the notes, the beat goes round and round. The beat goes round and round, and never really got there. I just pretended that I wasn't playing instruments. As I set up shotguns, come on and let it out. Come on and let it out. Come on and let it out. Come on and let it out.
Ever since I was a child, I have loved more than anything to swim in the ocean. I once believed I could hear mermaids singing in a shell I kept under my pillow, and that when I swam I had a tail.
She left a lot of stuff in my apartment. She's never getting back. As her smell of a pillow fades, her cigarettes might stay like a Roman Colosseum, a dry and worthless monument to our love. Ooh, I still have your lighter. Ooh, I still have your book. Ooh, I still have everything you brought, but you never took. You know where to find me, and I know where to look.
Have you finished that homework? I like that idea. New version of a fairy story? You'll let me read it when you're done? Did you hear what I said? When you're done, we can watch Bake Off. I made flapjacks.
I'm busy.
What are you doing?
What's it look like?
You going to see Jade at the weekend?
Don't think so.
Or Ella?
No.
Haven't seen them in ages. You should have them over for a sleepover. Campfire on Jericho Beach, sausages.
No thanks.
I can get that ice cream you like.
I said no thanks.
Camp out in the backyard like you used to.
Are you deaf?
There was no need for that.
Or just stupid?
That's enough.
Is it?
Your father will be home in a minute.
And what's he gonna do about it?
Take away that phone, that's what.
Loser.
What did you just say?
Nothing.
Don't talk about your father like that. All that he's done for you.
It's his fault.
What is?
He had a job.
What are you talking about?
For your job, I might have been invited.
Invited where?
Nowhere. Forget it.
What's going on?
Just leave me alone.
Is he to blame for them building a Safeway down the road? Who's going to buy fresh fish off the back of his boat when they can get frozen for half the price?
If you had a job, I wouldn't be wearing shoes you bought from the thrift store.
They're perfectly fine. You nearly knew. They're still in the box.
Then it turns out you should belong to Katie Baxter, who's having a celebrity party for her 17th birthday, whose dad hired a photographer, a professional makeup artist, and a limousine.
Never told me they were hers.
I didn't know they were hers either until she made fun of me in the cafeteria yesterday.
You've nothing to be ashamed of. She should be. Throwing away a brand new pair of shoes like that, poking fun at someone who hasn't had her advantages in life. I've half a mind to ring her parents.
No!
Or her. Looking down her nose at you, how dare she?
Don't you dare!
You don't need Katie Baxter and her limousine party. You stick with Ella and Jade and tell her to learn some manners.
What do you know about anything?
I don't suppose they're impressed by her nonsense.
They're there. Everyone's there singing happy birthday. Jade, Ella, Cheryl, Emily.
Well, I wouldn't let you out of the house dressed like that.
Maybe that's why I wasn't invited.
Just because Ella and Jade are at the party doesn't mean they like her.
They haven't spoken to me for a fortnight unless you count Jade giving me my swimsuit and snorkel back.
Who's that? Ella, there you go.
Hello?
Hey, Blue, you know that surfer boy you've been crazy about for months? Yeah, he's here at the party.
Joe, Cummy Blue, she never stopped talking about you.
Blue told Jade she saw a mermaid off the rocks at the point. Told her she could hear her singing in a shell she kept under her pillow. Shut up. Made us spill the cool fish down, didn't you, Jade? Katie says you can come to the party, have your nails done and everything. Makeover. Where's your money? You should read her a bedtime story. Have you remembered the mermaid song? Come on, Joe, come give Blue a good night cuddle.
Are you coming or not?
Now, don't be like that, Joe. Love, not work.
That's what you're doing, isn't it?
All that weirdo hippie stuff.
Guess I never got the memo. My tummy's turning and I'm feeling kinda homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. That's when the DJ got my favorite.
Just leave me alone!
And the Britney song was on. And the Britney song was on. And the Britney song was on. So I put my hands up to play my song. The butterflies fly away. Nodding my head like yeah. Moving my hips like yeah. I got my hands up to play my song. And know I'm gonna be okay. Yeah.
waters are as black as the darkest night, where no anchor can reach the bottom, live the mermaids. It is so deep you would have to pile 1,000 shipwrecks on top of one another before one of them stuck out above the surface. So deep that a spoon or a watch or a key or even a clock could take a year, maybe 2, to reach the bottom. Every night, Grandma would tell the mermaids stories. Of all the stories she told, the ones she wanted to hear again and again were about the land above the water. There's a great fire that men call
the sun, that warms your skin. There are winds that stroke you and whisper in your ear. There are waves that crash into you and tickle you all over until you cry out with laughter.
What is the wind made of? How far is the sun?
Where do the waves go?
What is fire?
Enough, enough. You need to rest, to dream.
We're not tired. Finish the story.
Please.
Tomorrow you will come of age and you can see for yourself.
But I'm the youngest. There's forever
before I come of age.
How can I wait for so long?
Hush now. You are still a child, a baby.
No, I'm not.
Remember, there is nothing up on earth as beautiful as the bottom of the ocean.
Tell me, Grandma, what are men?
To sleep.
You must promise to remember everything. Every single thing. Shh. But I'm not tired!
Tell me, where did you go today?
I swam with the seals as far as the reef, and then I taunted the anemones and dared them to catch me, but they couldn't, of course. So I lay on the ocean bed and made patterns with my tail and sang with the whale and then rode it back as far as the wreck.
The wreck? You're not allowed to go to the wreck.
Why not?
You know why. It's not safe.
There are strange things there, Grandma. Things that make you wonder.
It's dangerous.
Wonder about their lives up above.
Look at me. Promise me, whatever you do, never to speak to...
Who?
Nobody.
But you just said...
I told you not to go to the wreck.
Look what I found. Listen. You can hear it.
Give it to me.
What is it?
A clock.
What's it for?
You have no need.
Tell me about the land above the water, please.
Up above, there is time.
Time?
Life does not last forever as it does for us mermaids. From the moment man is born, he knows that his days are numbered. The clock is ticking. It is measured in minutes and hours and seconds. He lives each day not knowing which will be his last.
The clock is ticking.
Look at me. Promise me you will never again go to the wreck. Ever.
But why not?
One day your time will come and you can see for yourself. Until then, you stay away.
The next day, the oldest mermaid swam to the surface. Head above the water, the sky was burning. I swam towards the fire, but it had sunk into the ocean. I dove to find it, but it had disappeared. The sky went purple, then black. At first I was frightened, but then I saw that the sky was full of holes where the lake was staring. I said to the stars, and a great floating ship passed
These nets were full of fishes, lashing, biting, and gasping for breath. These men had knives that glittered in the moonlight. I saw them cut off a fin of a great white shark. Then they flung the wounded creature back into the ocean. I watched as it fell, and the sea turned red.
What are men like? Did they hear you?
Did they see you? Did they love you? As I sang, the wind began to whine and the water rose up. The great ship started to pitch and roll. I sang to the men, calling them to come and play with me, come and dance with the ocean. But the great ship carried them far away into the night.
All hands on deck. Rig to dock lines.
Reach the mainsail, bear away! None of the sisters longed to see the world above as much as the youngest, who had the longest to wait. At night she would stare up through the water and see the pale light of the stars.
Sometimes a black shadow passed over, and then I knew that it was a big ship sailing high above with men on board, with knives that glittered in the moonlight. The men above the water. Do they know? Do they know that we're here?
There are stories,
Stories?
or myths, or legends, depending on whether or not they believe them.
What do you mean?
Some say they have seen us, but few have lived to tell the tale. Our singing, it brings storms. It can cause ships to crash against the rocks. It can twist the minds of sailors so that they leap into the water as if into the arms of a lover, only to find themselves drowning.
Drowning? What's drowning?
Men cannot live in the ocean just as we cannot live up above.
Why not?
The water, it fills their lungs and suffocates them until they are dead.
Dead?
Gone.
Where to?
You remember I told you up above there is time. Life does not last forever as it does for us mermaids. Even if humans are lucky enough to survive the dangers, the human body, it changes. It decays as the years pass. The life drains away until it is gone forever.
But how is that possible? Where does it go?
Nobody knows. Some say the human soul lives on, and others say there is death and then there is nothing. It is as if they become foam upon the ocean.
Tell me, Grimmere, what are men?
Tell me, where did you go today?
As the years passed, each of the mermaids came of age and told their experience above the water. The youngest mermaid listened to every word and remembered every word.
The sky was blue and the sea smooth as glass in the sunlight. I could feel the heat on my skin, the hot, still air. A battered boat drifted on the water, and as I swam closer, amidst the boat was full of men crammed together. At first, I thought they were sleeping, though I saw their eyes were staring, open, though they did not see. Their limbs were beautiful like sinners in the waves. What happened? No more.
La 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 la
Some are born by chance to lives of privilege and plenty, whilst others must struggle to survive, their lives lost to toil and hardship.
What do you mean?
People must work for money to feed their families, to put a roof over their head.
Money?
Up above, everything has its price. Down below, we are lucky. Whatever we want for is ours.
When the next sister came of age, the youngest mermaid couldn't wait to hear her story from the land above.
That's the sound of the sword going in.
As I put my head above the water, I never saw it.
Cut!
Flames danced along the waves, and 1,000 sparks fell into the ocean. Then great billowing clouds rose up from the sea and swallowed the sky. There were strange noises, as if the world was
That's the
crumbling.
sound of the drum bomb pusher. That's the sound of the children took her. This means war! Anti-war!
I told them how beautiful it was at the bottom of the ocean.
Kramer, look what we found.
Are they dead?
They must be at war.
What's war?
A terrible waste of life.
What happens?
Parents lose their children and children lose their parents.
Lose them?
They're killed.
Why?
They quarrel. What about?
It depends. But for instance,
Over land?
land?
One of them believes it belongs to them and the other wants it for themselves.
Well, why don't they share it?
That's enough questions. Leave them.
How strange and beautiful they are. What does it all mean? What does it all mean, Remy?
It means that life up above is full of pain and suffering that we can never understand. It is better to forget, for there is nothing we can do to help them.
The more the mermaid heard about the land above, the more she longed to see it for herself. She vowed that she would not be afraid. She would swim to the shore and follow the sea up the river and into the heart of the city. She longed to know how men live, to see into their hearts and understand their secrets. At last, the day finally came.
When I lifted my head above the water, I saw the beautiful burning evening sky, and I saw the hull of a massive ship towering above me.
She heard the strange sound of human voices and swam right up to the boat inside.
It is with tremendous pride that today, on your 18th birthday, I accept your oath of allegiance to our great army. May you display courage and fearlessness in the face of our enemies and all who seek to destroy our country. May you lead our army to victory and defend all that is noble and righteous in the name of Almighty God.
In the name of Almighty God.
At that moment, a strange thing happened. The prince looked out to sea and into the eyes of the mermaid.
I saw in his gaze a shifting sea of questions. I saw longing and fear and tenderness. I saw astonishing beauty, like moonlight on water. And I saw the depths of his loneliness.
The mermaid felt as if she were drowning. Her heart began to pound. A cry rose in her throat.
Now he will come down and live at the bottom of the ocean.
Then she remembered. A man cannot live beneath the water. He would die if she didn't save him. There's a body on the beach. At the point. Seems to be injured, but still breathing. Please come quickly. Three, two, one. Three, two, one. Are you all right? Where have you been? We tried to find you, but there was a terrible storm.
You were gone so long. I thought you were lost.
What is it? Speak to us, please. But the mermaid could not answer, for she could not explain what had happened to her up above. She sat alone and stared up through the water towards the sky. For days on end, she barely spoke, nor did she seem to hear.
What is it? Tell me.
I felt his heart pound. I felt his weight upon me. His eyes were like moonlight on water. His skin was as smooth as untouched sand. If I never see him again, I won't be able to live.
Child, you must not say such things.
It's true.
You must forget him.
I can't.
Listen to me. You must. No good can come of this.
Forget him?
You must put him out of your mind.
That's impossible.
Listen to me. Never speak a word of this again. Not to your sisters or to anyone.
Why?
You belong here. You are safe here.
I don't want to be safe. I want to live, to love, to feel.
Enough. Believe me. It's for the best.
And so the mermaid did not speak of him again. She thought of nothing else. At night she swam back to the place where she had last seen the prince, but it was deserted. She saw houses on the shore, with lights glowing in the windows, and she pulled herself up so that she could see inside. It was there that she saw the strangest sight.
A woman stared at a box, and in the box were people, miniature people, and the people in the box were speaking.
Couldn't sleep. Been waiting up.
No need.
Just one drink, you said.
Don't start.
The rent's overdue. She needs a new wetsuit. Her old one's too small. And you promised her that surfboard for the store for her birthday next week. 16. We should make it special.
I know how old she is.
And she wants the coach fair to go to the march next weekend.
The march?
Stop the war. There's a big demonstration. They're saying there's going to be thousands, people from all over.
You're going to let her go?
You tried stopping her. She's her heart set on it. She's been making a banner out of an old bed sheet in her room. First rally. Do you remember when you used to...
I'm tired, good.
Are you going down to the docks to see if there's any work?
Maybe.
She's been at the hospital again.
Did they know who he is?
Returning to our main story, you can see that night is falling on the Atlantic. The search continues for the prince who is still missing at sea over 100 miles from land. It is 48 hours now since the vessel capsized during the celebration of the prince's 18th birthday. A freak storm that defied weather forecasts swept the royal family overboard. The king and queen were airlifted from the water and are currently recovering in hospital. Helicopters have been searching the icy waters, although it's thought to be impossible that the prince could have survived the sub-zero temperatures. It seems there is no longer any hope of finding him alive. Thousands are filling the streets outside the palace as they await further news.
For days and nights, the search went on, and the nation mourned. The prince could not have survived the freezing waters 100 miles from land. The king and queen had lost their only child. Until one Sunday afternoon, they received some surprising news.
Excuse me, Your Highness, forgive me, but I have some news that cannot wait. It seems that the prince, unlikely as it sounds, they believe he has been found.
Oh, God.
Alive, Your Highness.
But how is that possible? It's been months.
Must be a hoax.
Is it really you?
I don't know.
Blue, how did you feel after you saved the prince?
What do you make of this survival?
People are calling this a miracle. Would you agree?
You say you were going for a swim?
What you realize is the Royal Highness.
If you give me exclusive rights to the story, I can make it well worth your while.
We can offer you a 5-figure sum.
You and your family will be given.
Your dad's at work, isn't he? Will $50,000 help?
Tell us.
Sit on my shoulder and tell me something.
The king and queen wept with joy to see their beloved child. But the prince was changed.
When I cry,
Though they dare not say so,
do you
he felt like a
hear
stranger.
color or black and white for
He would often walk alone in the palace gardens at night. He would stand at the river's edge and look down into the black water as if he were searching for something. One evening, the mermaid waited until the others were asleep and then swam towards the shore.
Blackboard, the way
Late that night, she swam up the river and
was
into
wrong.
the deep, dark heart of the city. Many times she had to dive down beneath the surface to avoid the trash that was located up above. She saw strange sights. Buildings so high she feared they would topple into the water. She saw factories that spewed smoke into the air. She saw men who were exhausted and crippled by their work.
Intervene, blackboard, and a shorten the road.
It's a Friday night in the city. She heard the strange sounds made by the lost on the bridges. She saw drunkards laughing, fighting, children who shouted and threw stones.
heck is that?
Oh my goodness.
What are you talking about? I can't see anything.
There's a girl in the water. No, it's a fish.
No, it's a girl. Give me the stone.
Here.
Slipping into my slumber.
She saw how people threw things they didn't want into the water.
Do you see in color or a dull board?
As she swam into the heart of the dark city, the sun rose over the turrets of a vast building.
Intervene blackboard and a short and
She heard the great clock strike the hour and remembered what Grandmother had told her about time and how every moment it was passing. As she looked around her, she saw that the city had changed. She saw the perfect green grass, the marble statues, and the fountains of the palace garden. Long-necked birds floated on the water, their feathers as white as the blossom on the trees. I think, therefore I am. I think, therefore I am.
Excuse me, Your Highness. Your regiment is awaiting inspection.
Or would it not be true to say that it is thinking? The ceaseless chatter, the jabbering voices, the torrent of thoughts clamoring for attention. Is it not this very condition that is unique to human beings, that distinguishes us from animals?
Sir?
Is it not this capacity for thought, the knowledge that we are alone in this world, that we are born and will so soon die? Is it not this very thinking that means I cannot be, that I am trapped inside my own head, looking on, peering at the world as if through the wrong end of a telescope?
The entire Royal Battalion has been standing at attention for the last half hour, Your Highness.
There is a tune. I cannot get it out of my head.
Your father has requested you return immediately to the palace.
Do you recognize it?
Excuse me?
Have you heard it before?
I couldn't say for certain. There being a great many tunes, and I myself being less than musical.
It is strange, but sometimes when I stand on this spot, I can hear it in the sound of the river.
Yes, sir.
Or perhaps it is in the wind.
Your father has requested that you return immediately to the
Listen.
palace.
There.
I shall tell the king that you are hearing such things.
Do you ever hear such a sound?
Sir,
Shh, 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 shh.
I shall tell your father that you are hearing such things.
Does it not seem strange that I am attended night and day by people whose lives are devoted to my well-being?
Well, sir, surely I'm not placed.
I am given every attention. My slightest utterance accorded significance, my opinions sought and my words repeated, as if this life of privilege did not render one utterly ill-equipped to know, to understand anything at all. I know this, and yet I don't give up this charade, this performance.
Your Majesty is still recovering.
They want me to marry. They think a wife will bring me to my senses. They have introduced me to every eligible young woman in the land. They think a wedding will lift the spirits of the nation, give them something to celebrate, a real-life fairy story to distract them from the war. But I can't, you see, because of the song.
The song.
I have to find out who sang it.
If you'll excuse me, Your Highness,
Do you believe we have a soul that lives on when we die?
Yep, he won't be going anywhere. If I may say so, sir, that's a little above my pay grade.
It
was fascination.
Night after night, the mermaid stared up at the prince from the darkness of the river. Sometimes, when the air was hot and the palace slept, he would walk into the water.
Just a passing glance, just a brief romance, and I might have gone on my way, empty-hearted. It was fascination.
Do you ever wonder what it would be like to live above the water?
You must think of such things. We live far happier down here than they do up above. Men are always fighting and shouting and trying to prove how clever and important they are.
Why?
Because they're afraid.
Of what?
That someone will find out that they're afraid.
I don't understand.
Of all the creatures on earth, man alone knows that he must die. And so he longs to cheat death, to forget his mortality. He builds and he buys and he conquers. He tries to believe, to have faith. He snatches at pleasure, gorges himself in whatever scraps he can find. But all the while he knows that his days are numbered, that soon he will become foam upon the ocean.
But what about love?
Enough!
What about a soul? Do I have a soul?
Enough
Does
questions.
every human have one? Please tell me. If you don't, I'll go back and find out for myself.
They have a soul, but there is no guarantee that they will ever find it.
But how is that possible?
Man's suffering. If it doesn't destroy them or send them mad, it can teach them things. If he dares open his heart, abandon his fear, his pride, then and only then will he know the pain and joy of others and feel it as though it were his own. That is love. And in this is man's salvation, the soul that lives on forever.
Oh, Grandmother, that's what I long for. To see into his soul, to know his pain and joy, to know his secrets, and for him to know mine.
You must put these thoughts out of your mind.
The song I sang on the night of the storm, the night I rescued him, he says he cannot marry until he's found out who sang it. I have to go to him.
But that will never be. This love that you long for, it can never happen. You cannot live up above, and he will drown in the ocean.
I understand. It is only natural that you should be protective after everything. But you do him no favors by keeping him locked away, swaddled up in the palace. It's little wonder he's so preoccupied. Nothing to do all day but think. Action. Discipline. That's what he needs. A man must test himself, prove his worth, his mettle. There's nothing like a war to bring a boy to his senses.
Yes, of course. I know you're right. I know he must return to the regiment.
You'll see. It will be for the best.
And yet I fear for him. If only we could find him a wife. Someone, something to bring him home.
The next time the mermaid swam up above, the air was cold. She'd never seen the winter before, for down below there were no seasons. She saw the skeletons of the trees and the snow fall into the black water as the water turned to ice.
The prince no longer came down to the river. Although I sang and waited and sang again, I feared I would never see him again. One day, I heard people talking about the war far away where the prince was fighting. There was a newspaper thrown into the river with his face upon it. And he was holding a gun.
She realized that she would always be invisible to the world of men. She would never know what it is to love and be loved. Soon she became sick with longing and could not eat or sleep. Her hair fell out in handfuls and her body grew thin. She knew that there was only one person who could help her. And so, one night, too afraid to tell her sisters, she swam off towards the forbidden wreck. Deep inside lived the sea witch, once a mermaid who sacrificed all to try to win the love of a mortal.
Once for sorrow, tears for joy. 3's for a girl and 4's for a boy. 5's for silver, 6 for gold. 7's for a secret.
I thought you'd never come.
How did you know?
You are not the first, nor will you be the last.
What do you mean?
I can see it in your eyes. Even smell it. The longing. I remember it. Don't worry, my dear. You have come to the right person. You shall have your little heart's desire. All that you long for shall be yours.
I want to live above the water.
I know.
To walk, to breathe,
Of course.
to lose my fishtail, and live as if I were born up above.
All this and more I can give you.
How?
Drink this, and you will have the woman's body you long for. Tomorrow morning at sunrise, your tail will divide, become 2 perfect legs. You will feel great pain, as if a sword were passing through you. But all that see you shall say you are the prettiest little human being they ever saw. You will still have the same floating gracefulness, and no dancer will ever tread so lightly. But at every step you take, it'll feel as though you're treading upon sharp knives, and that the blood must flow. If you'll bear all this, I will help you.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
It will cost you.
Just tell me what you want.
It is no small payment.
Ask and it's yours.
I've heard you sing. It is said you have the prettiest voice in all the little ocean. I imagine you have thought of using this voice to charm your prince. But that will never be. For when you open your mouth to speak, no sound will come out, because you have given this voice to me.
My voice?
Unless you win the heart of a mortal, you will never utter another sound. If you do not win the total love of your prince, so that he is willing to forget his mother and father for your sake, allow the priest to join your hands in holy marriage, then you will never have an immortal soul. The next morning, after he marries another, your heart will shatter, and you will become foam on the crest of the waves.
But if I have no voice, how will I tell him who I am? Or where I've come
Who
from?
you are? You think you want to know who you are? To hear your childish thoughts? Your insolence, foolish prattle? My dear, that tongue of yours will be a liability. Far better without it. You won't be tempted to spoil your beauty.
I don't understand.
Up above, there is a world, and in it, a prize which man will sacrifice all for. You've never seen yourself in a mirror, but when you do, you can see that you possess the greatest prize of all. You see, use your lustrous hair, your radiant smile, and your dazzling eyes to speak with them.
But I want to hear his secrets. To tell him mine. To know him as I know myself.
I was once like you, full of childish thoughts and longings. I too imagined I could have everything.
What happened? What happened?
How dare you! Get away from me! Get out of my sight!
No! Do it now, quickly! I won't flinch!
What is it now? What? I'm losing my patience.
Unless I win the heart of a mortal, I will never sing again?
Never.
Nor laugh, nor cry, nor utter any sound?
That is correct.
It's terrible.
Nonsense. It will help you bear the agony of love without crying it out loud.
But if I have no voice, what will I have left? Who will I become?
Enough. You're wasting my time.
Let it happen.
not smile, he will not love you, and all will be lost. I thank you for your time.
Who are you? How did you get into the palace gardens? Where did you come from?
Although the prince could remember nothing of the night of the storm, something stirred deep inside him. Waves crashed over his heart. The prince looked into her sea-green eyes and felt as if he were drowning.
Who are you? Come, let me help you.
Since returning from the war, he has taken to watering the grounds all hours of the night and day. Yesterday, he was found by one of the gardeners tearing petals of a crimson rose. One can hardly forbid him from walking his own garden, but...
Mother, father,
Good God, what on earth?
I would like to introduce you.
Thank the Lord! At last, we thought it would never happen. It is a great pleasure to meet you. Welcome to the palace.
But
Congratulations, my dear.
who is she?
Oh, what marvelous news!
News? Forgive me, dear girl. But who are you?
You can't speak.
No matter. Tonight, we shall have a banquet in honor of your engagement. You will be bathed and dressed by my very own ladies-in-waiting. There's nothing to be afraid of. With a little help, you will do very well.
Never was a cornflake girl. Thought that was a good solution, hanging with the raisin girls. She's gone to the other side, giving us a yo-yo. Things are getting kind of gross, and I go at sleepy time. This is not really, this is not really happening. You bet your life it is. You bet your life it is. Honey, you bet your life. It's a peel out the watchword, just peel out the watchword. What's going on? Seems we got a cheaper feel now. All the sweet teas are gone. Gone to the other side with my encyclopedia. They must have paid her a nice price. She's putting on a stupid love. This is not really, this is not really happening. You bet your life it is.
Look at yourself. That is who you are now.
The mermaid felt a strange chill growing inside her, but that night she stood at the prince's side. Eyes followed her wherever she went, and voices whispered envious approval. Everyone who saw her agreed that she was the most exquisite creature that they had ever seen. he had fallen in love? That she had won his heart and would sing again? Could it be? Where did he propose? When's the big day? Who's going to design the dress? Tell us about the engagement ring.
Is it Bulgari or maybe Tiffany's?
When's the wedding day?
Like an exquisite jewel tiara and a lovely pink dress.
Tell us.
Be,
How did he pop the question?
could this be a clue as to who will design the wedding dress?
Did he get down on one knee?
Tell us. Tell us.
Enough questions for today. Thank you.
Your Highness, when will you be returning back to the war?
Is it true you are suffering from post-traumatic stress?
Do you think we're letting our troops down in this crucial state of matter?
10 soldiers were killed yesterday. What do you have to say for the families?
How do you feel about your friends and comrades under constant attack from the enemy?
Are you feeling okay these days?
Tell us. Tell us. Tell us. Tell us. Tell us. Tell us. Tell us.
I remember nothing but a beautiful song that fills my head and haunts me still.
Song rose up in her throat like a great wave, but no sound came. How she longed to tell the prince that she had been his savior. How she ached to sing again.
What is it? Tell me. Speak to me.
You know that I am soon to return to the war.
Join the battalion. Last night, I was watching on the news. There had been a suicide bomb and people were protesting. It was just as I remembered. The street vendors and the children playing football in the tin can. And then there were tanks. Our tanks. Driven by our soldiers. Careering through the crowds as the people were skittles. There was a woman screaming. She was holding the body of a child. That's what it said, but you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell because there was so much blood.
The mermaid remembered what Grandmère had told her about the land above, how it was full of pain and suffering, but there was nothing they could do to help them.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't frighten you. Let's play a game. Let's pretend. Pretend that we're happy.
The prince would wonder where she had come from, but she could not tell him, and he could only guess. You're a kangaroo?
Are you a bunny rabbit?
Yes. You're an airplane.
Yeah.
You are a spy who dropped into the ocean and swam to shore?
A princess who's kidnapped and escaped on a boat. An orphan who's abandoned at sea?
A mermaid?
A mermaid?
There was a story my nanny used to tell me over and over until I knew it by heart. It had an unhappy ending, and I always used to wish it ended differently. The war. It's like it keeps coming back. I can't. I'm sorry.
The prince told her no more of his fears and longings. He dared not burden her with his thoughts.
Their engagement, and still no date is set for the wedding. She's been seen alone again this week, prompting speculation about the prince's absence.
As the princess gets thinner, there are rumors that she isn't eating.
The body language between the royal couple suggests a serious rift in their relationship.
Wearing too much makeup that scarcely disguises dark rings under her eyes. Princess Single that makeup is looking tired and drawn.
Seen wearing an exquisite diamond necklace from the queen's own collection. The princess is looking tired and drawn.
My mother is impatient for us to marry. She thinks a wedding will lift the spirits of the nation, give them something to celebrate.
But he said no more. For days, the prince was silent. It was as if he scarcely saw her. At night, the mermaid would go down to the river that ran through the palace gardens. How she longed to show the prince the beauty of the world beneath the water, to dance with shoals of fish in the moonlight, and sing to the stars in the middle of the ocean. She longed to tell him of her sisters, grandmère, the things that she had loved and lost. She remembered how it felt to have a tail, to be light and weightless and free, to know nothing of the suffering of the world. The mermaid began to dream at night of her sisters. They were swimming together up towards the surface of the water. When she awoke, she felt a terrible, gnawing emptiness. She longed to sleep, to dream again.
My dear, the time has come. We must name the day. I know you don't want to be rushed, but a date must be decided before you return to the regiment. It will give the nation something to look forward to, a celebration.
Not now.
But my dear, this cannot go on. Months and still no talk of a wedding day. You must see that this is becoming an embarrassment.
Embarrassment?
The whole nation is speculating as to why there is no announcement.
I said not now.
Well, why ever not? What is the matter?
I dreamt I was a butterfly. Or am I a butterfly dreaming that I'm a man? What do you think, Mother? This girl is like a young maiden whom I once saw, but whom I shall never meet again.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
We live in fear.
Fear? I know. I realize that you are unhappy, but there's nothing I can't.
This life that we lead, this pomp and ceremony, does it ever strike you as absurd?
I shall tell the press office that a date will be decided before the weekend.
The war. It was a relief in a way. To be in the middle of a battle. To forget everything else. To know that if you didn't kill them, then they would kill you. To have something real to be afraid of.
There's to be a 21-gun salute, followed by a fireworks display. You are required to do nothing more than stand beside her on the deck and applaud when it is over. I trust you will do as I ask and nothing more.
Ready, aim, fire. Ready, aim, fire. Ready, aim, fire. Ready, safe. Ready, aim.
Tomorrow night, I will be far from here. I realize I'm a burden to all, including myself. I cannot love you more than I love the woman of the song in the waves. Forgive me. Remember once I told you that night I nearly drowned? I remember nothing but a beautiful song. It is strange, but sometimes when I stand near the water, for a second, it comes back. I can hear it now. When I return, I will marry you.
At last, the words she had longed to hear, and yet he didn't love her. For everything that she once was had been lost. Who would she be silent at his side? Nothing. Nobody. The mermaid felt as if her heart were already broken. Their wedding morning would bring death to her, and she would change into foam on the ocean.
The prince and princess are on their way to the naval base where the prince set sail.
You can hear the crowds outside the palace.
The prince's return to his regiment is seen by many as an attempt to rally support for the increasingly unpopular war that has become a thorn in the side of the...
As the death toll mounts, the prince is coming under criticism for absence from the public eye.
Question over the prince's ability to lead his regiment. His relationship with his fiancée seems to have done little to support the prince.
The couple aren't really seen together.
Feeling rumors that there's a serious rift in their relationship.
Some have been here since yesterday.
Camping out to secure the best position to witness the arrival of His Royal Highness and his fiancée.
There are others who have come here to protest against the war.
We hope that this won't delay the prince's departure.
As you can see, we're making their presence felt.
The mermaid saw the shimmering ocean. She heard the sound of the waves like a calling. Her heart began to pound.
Song you're singing. Where does it come from? Where did you learn it?
You remember?
I heard it once, years ago, but I have never heard anyone sing it until now. Tell me, where did you learn it?
The night I found you on the beach. It was as if the sea was singing it.
Found me?
There had been a storm. I found you on the beach. At first I thought you were drowned. Your eyes were closed and your flesh was bruised. But then I saw you were breathing. You were taken to the hospital. You remembered nothing. Not even your own name. You spoke in strange, broken sentences. You cried out in your sleep. The songs seemed to be the only thing that could comfort you. I told you the mermaid story I loved as a child. And how I used to dream that dive down into the ocean, swim with mermaids, dance with shoals of fish, sing to the stars. And that the dreams were so real that when I awoke, I longed to sleep and dream again.
Sister, Grandmother, she sacrificed herself to allow the sea witch to bring you back into the ocean, where you belong. Here, among us and the creatures of the deep. You have no business in the world of men. Leave them. Leave them to their work, their battles, their trauma, and their strife. The love you search for is in the family. Let them scar each other with pain and love.
The mermaid lifted her glorified eyes towards the sun and felt them, for the first time, filling with tears.
I shall return to you and leave the world. What I thought was all I wanted was pale in comparison to the world I already had.
There is a serious breach in security with the prince and princess no longer inside the vehicle. It seems that the princess has disappeared without a trace. The prince has joined a young woman, an activist from the demonstration, who is now swimming out to sea. Much to the astonishment of the crowd, the prince is embracing this new, unknown woman. Efforts are being made to return the prince to the vehicle and proceed towards the naval base.
Ever since I was a child, I have loved more than anything to swim in the ocean. I once believed I could hear mermaids singing in a shell I kept under my pillow, and then when I swam, I had a tail.
Come to your senses. You've left yourself defenseless. I know you don't really want to be alone. You know you can come home. You know you can come home. It's all illusion. I have come to this conclusion. There is nothing here that I can call